Hi everyone. So I'm going to be doing today's Facebook Live. This is my first ever Facebook Live, so it's like terrifying. But today I just wanted to talk a little bit about something I posted recently, which was about numbers and how after a doctor's appointment the other day, where I was weighed for the first time in a long time, and I actually dared to kind of look down at the scales, that actually I wasn't bothered. And interestingly, when I posted about that experience, I got loads of comments about kind of wanting to get to that point. And basically, my message is that it's absolutely possible. But I just wanted to share a little bit today about how we so often live our lives by numbers without even realising it. So I talk about this a little bit in our book, so I just wanted a really short extract and then kind of talk about it a little bit. So when it came to eating, it was a numbers game, and I was constantly challenging myself to see how low I could go. And this would dictate how I felt. The lower the numbers went, the greater the sense of satisfaction and achievement I felt. The higher the numbers, however, the worse I felt. If I consumed too many, I would fly into a spiral of self-hatred, resentment and anger. I'd feel physically sick, not because I was full, but because I was so repulsed by what I'd done. Throughout this period in my life, I assigned so much importance and meaning to numbers. They completely controlled what and how much I ate. If an item of food exceeded my made-up daily calorie intake, then it became a no-go. It was added to my blacklist. And I think this is something that so many people relate to, not just with eating disorders, but with anything in life. I think we go through life having all these kind of made-up kind of limits, or kind of expectations, whether it's I need to have this many pounds in my bank account, or my partner needs to tell me this many times a week that they love me, or I need to call my mum this many times a day. Anything like that. It's all totally made up. And I think for me, for so long, I didn't really realise that. Like, I always kind of had like a limit or a goal in mind, whether it was about my weight or how many calories I was meant to be eating or not eating. And I never really kind of questioned it. It was just sort of there. I mean, it would always change. Like, the goalpost would always move. Like, I'd set the kind of target weight goal, and then lo and behold, as soon as I got there, it would be kind of magically be shifted off into the distance. So, but what I've kind of discovered, and Nicola Bird, if you've kind of seen any of her stuff or read any of her blogs, she talks really kind of well about this, and about how all these numbers that we're kind of living our lives by, again, whether it's related to food or weight or relationships or money or whatever it might be, they're all totally arbitrary, and they're all completely made up. And actually, for me, like, noticing that and realising that was a real game changer. So, like, when I went to the doctors the other day and was weighed for the first time, I didn't freak out. Like, and even though when I first kind of stepped on the scales, I was like, oh God, I haven't done this in a while. What's going to happen? But actually, it was fine, because whatever weight it showed, that doesn't say anything about me as a person. It tells me a bit about, well, how heavy I am, but who cares? Like, I don't think anyone's going to be going around kind of trying to pick me up anytime soon. So actually knowing that it really doesn't say anything about us, and that we absolutely have the power to not believe those stories and kind of the meaning that we attach to it. And that's so kind of liberating and freeing for me anyway, and I think it is for other people as well. And I think, kind of going back to the example of when I went to be weighed the other day, when I came out of the doctor's room, I'm not any different, kind of, even like knowing that I weigh a certain amount, I don't see myself as any different. I haven't changed as a person. I'm still me, and actually, no one cares how much was on that scale, including me now, which I feel so kind of delighted about. But I just kind of want to reassure you that if you're in that position where you're kind of obsessing over numbers, whatever it might be, that you don't have to have those kind of thoughts and experiences forever. I think it's just kind of seeing through the illusion that they matter, really, is really important. So I'm probably going to write a blog on this as well, if you rather kind of reading rather than listening. And like I said, I always talk about it in our book, so have a look if you have that. I hope that was vaguely helpful. Managed to get through my first Facebook Live without dying, so yay. But yeah, just drop me a line if you have any thoughts or comments. And yeah, have a good day.